The problem is the way we see integration. Integration is not assimilation, it's not segregation, it's an acceptance of ethnic plurality.
If you get the feeling that you belong to that country, every problem is then solved.
Make your ethnic origin an advantage.
And look at the diversity as a fact of celebration.
We need to put good news in the news.
Empower and engage young people.
We have invited you to this dialogue for one reason. We want to hear your views on what we as politicians, organizations, civic society and young people can do to improve the integration process. You all live in Europe, experience being young in Europe and have valuable ideas and also your life experience until now. And it is essential for the future of Europe that all good ideas, experiences and best practices on integration issues come into light.
Every European country should try to help people, for example, not only young people but also older people, to learn the language in the country that they are living in. I think it's the most important thing. Communication is the key of every problem. For example, my mother is 54 years old and she lived about 30 years in Germany and she doesn't speak very well German. She even has problems to talk to a German person. And I think that that's wrong, and I think when you live in a country, you should integrate yourself and should be part of it. That's the part that the minority should accept and should change in future.
My interests are that how can a community within itself reevaluate its norms and traditions, and how can a community become a part of a wider society. I come from a very rich Muslim Indian community which is deep-rooted in very rich values, diverse traditions, and being brought up within a family unit that holds such traditions, and yet being educated and learning things in a society that has different norms and values, it can be difficult.
Rather than look outside and put emotion.
First generation immigrants are very wary of the different cultures that are out there, and they feel that they need to protect their children and youngsters from not being corrupted in a sense. It's not a nice way of putting it, but ultimately there's a fear of the unknown and the fear of the outside communities, and therefore it can be very difficult for a young person being brought up in a very different culture and yet having to maintain the traditions and norms that are expected of them.
When I was working with ethnic minority youth last year, it was middle school students, most of whom were children of West African immigrants. I think that empowerment is very important, and it's important to also start fostering a culture of role models within communities of ethnic minorities in order for younger kids to feel empowered to not only grow and develop certain skills and succeed educationally and professionally, but also to be encouraged to then be role models themselves and empower their own communities.
In rap music, I'm a voice,
I'm a voice for a lot of persons that don't know how to express themselves. They gave me the opportunity to show what I can give to others because I never gave up. Because I always persisted, I always tried to show what was really going on or what's going on in my society or in my environment.
Needing to be much more approachable and personal. I think there's a lot of expertise.
We are dividing people in Europe. We're dividing them in Christians and in Jews and in Muslims especially.
We use the radio station because everybody has got to understand. They have background of music understanding.
EU could set a framework or guidelines for this kind of
I really appreciate, like in Germany, they do a lot, but I think they even have to do more. They have to promote more that people come together, like Turkish people, German people, whatever, black people. They should learn from each other. If we learn from each other, and for example, I'm a Muslim, and everybody has his own opinion of Muslims, like what you hear in news and things. But I don't think that we are totally different. We're just from different cultures, different parts, but I think if the majority and the minority come together, learn from each other together, we will never ever have any problems.